Hi everyone, Jorgelina here with PAME Resources, and we are making an updated video, a quick video with how to make a drop-down menu. This one is amazing when it comes to needing options for your students so that they don't type in. They have updated, so Google Sheets has updated the way to do drop-down menus. It is still through the data validation menu, but you can also do it with a drop-down menu now, so it's a little bit simpler. So let's say I wanted to create a drop-down menu for questions. For the answers. So let's say I wanted to say something like select the word that begins with the letter A. I know that's not really a question you would ask maybe in kindergarten or something like that, but I'm going to change the text here so we can see that. So then I would want options here for words that begin with different letters, one of which is a word that begins with the letter A. So there's two ways that we can make those drop downs, and I will show you both ways. The first way is the longer way. So I'm going to right click where I want the drop down to go, and then I'm going to go to view more cell options and data validation. So this part right here so far is exactly the same as it worked before. So we would go to data validation, and then it has add a rule. So I'm going to click on that. When I add a rule, it's going to automatically select the field that I had selected in the first place. And then right here is where we would put our options. So you have a couple of different validations, but we want to do a drop down. You can play around with the rest if you want to, but I'm going to go to drop down. If you do drop down from a range, what that means is that you can then tell Sheets where you have all of the different options already. If you're going to make the list yourself, you're just going to put the options here. So for example, I want one of them to be bear. That one doesn't start with an letter A. Octopus, and let's put, apple, right? So that one starts with the letter A. So now we would have a drop down that consists of 3 different words. Once you're happy with it, you can hit done. And then now your drop down menu is here. Notice how it says invalid, and it says invalid because that field has the number 1 in it, and it's none of those drop down words. So it needs to be one of these 3 words in order for it to be valid. So now when I click apple, that's the word that I would want. Okay, so in this particular template, we might want to change this. Let's make this, size 20 so that the word fits. Oh, still not small enough. Let's make it 12. We'll know that one fits. Okay, so, and then right now, this answer is incorrect. So if you are working with one of our templates, we would have to go to sheet 2 and then select that first answer to be apple. All right, so now it's correct. And if students select one of the other ones, those are incorrect. So it doesn't change colors, it stays white. And it'll only change to the correct color when you select apple. Okay, so again, steps. I'll do it again here in number 2. Right click, view more cell options, data validation, add a rule, and then select drop down. Okay, so that's one of them. So the next one is to right click, the one that's faster. I'm going to close this out. You can right click and go directly to drop down. So you don't have to mess around with those fields. So it still takes you to the same menu, right? It's still data validation rules, but it's already set up here where you don't have to click add a rule, and then it works exactly the same, right? So let's say now I want this one to be apple, monkey. I don't know why I'm doing animals and fruit, but I don't teach elementary school. And I don't know, let's do gnome because this is a gnome template. The really cool thing about this, that if you, before you hit done, let's say I want this same exact menu to go in a bunch of these, right? Like I want to make sure that that is the same menu for all these. I want the same options for every question. I can go here to this little box where it says select data range, and I can go add another one. And then I can select where I want that menu to go. So I also wanted on 3, and now let's say I also wanted on 7. I'm going to hit the control key or command if you're using an Apple and select that one and see how it adds another one. So again, that's holding the control key or command so that you can select all of the ones where you would want that menu to go. Maybe I want it here too. Okay, so it's selecting all of those. When I go to OK, notice how all of those have that drop down. And right now they all have that little triangle up here that shows that it's invalid, and that's because it's not one of those words. Right, so then we can select those wherever we want those words to go. Okay. So that is how you do a drop-down menu. Feel free to leave us comments if you have any additional questions or if there's any other tips and tricks you want to learn. But for now, that's the updated. I do think that Google did a great job. It's a little bit easier to navigate. It could just take a little bit longer to determine how to use it if you haven't done it. So, but once you figure it out, I do think it's easier to do. This right here on the side, these are colors, so you can change the color of your drop down, right? So if I select apple, it turns pink. If I select monkey, it turns yellow. See how the monkeys turned yellow, and then if I select gnome, it turns green, right? So this would be good if you want to set your answer key to be correct or incorrect, right? So if they select apple, you want to make it green because that's the correct answer, but all the other ones you want them to be red because monkey's incorrect and gnome is incorrect. That can also be a way for students to know when they're doing something correct or incorrect. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. Quick video, but we'll see you on the next one. Bye.